Let's get this started. Hello. Welcome to another episode of the EJB talk show. Today I have a very special guest, clarinet extraordinaire, actually.
I don't know about that.
But I have Anne Murdocca here with me today. How are you doing today, Anne?
I'm doing great. It's a busy day, but I'm so excited to be here.
Thank you. Oh, it's very sweet.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. But what did you get up to today?
So I had... What did I do today? I can't even remember. I had class, history, 9 a.m.
Master's history.
Yeah.
I forget you guys have to do that.
Yeah, and then I had rehearsal with piano for my class on Friday that I'm performing in, and then actually that's it. It's not that busy. And then I just had opera
Rehearsal.
and now I'm here.
Yeah, so you're currently a first-year master's student here.
Yes.
Graduated from Laurier.
Yes.
But how have you liked it here so far?
I like it. It's definitely like a much different vibe than Laurier.
How so?
I feel like performance here is taken like more seriously.
Really?
I feel like this school, like Laurier, is maybe more geared towards education, whereas this school I find there's more, like there's a lot more performance majors. But I mean, it's a bigger school.
Right.
But and everyone's really good here. Like, really good. Everyone, like, practices.
People don't practice there?
Well, people can, like, get away with it more, maybe. At
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, and I think the expectations are higher here.
Expectations, like, do you think it's, like...
I mean, maybe because I'm in my master's.
Right.
But I don't know about
That's true,
undergrad.
because there's no master's program at...
No,
undergraduate program there.
Yeah, no.
Interesting.
Yeah, I like
That's
it
cool.
here,
But
though.
you've been enjoying it.
Yeah,
That's
everyone's
awesome.
really nice, so...
Nice.
You're
but
really nice.
But yeah, we're gonna work a bit chronologically here.
Okay.
I want to ask you, what would you say is your earliest musical memory that you could recall?
Okay, so when I actually started music in grade 5 band.
Grade
and
5 band.
I know, because our school was going through like a weird change that like I was supposed to start it, like my year was supposed to start in grade 4.
Okay.
But because of whatever, there was one school under construction. And we had a primary school from 1 to 3, and then grade 4 you would go to the other one. Mm-hmm. But that school was under construction, so we stayed in grade 4 at the primary school. Mm-hmm. So I started in grade 5, and I remember we had to take music, and I was like, I don't want to do this. Like I was like, something new else for me to learn.
Like when you were younger, it was just no musical interest at all.
No, I didn't at all.
Wow.
And when I started in grade 5, I was like, oh, like this is just gonna be something else that I have to learn. Like I already can't do math. Like now I'm gonna have to do this music theory, because that's how we started with theory. Right. So I was like, oh, this is so boring. I'm gonna hate this. Like I just have to do it. Mm-hmm. And then we tried like the different mouthpieces, and then I wanted to play a bass instrument. That was I just thought it was so cool to like play like a big like either like tuba or like trombone but I picked, and I saw the bass clarinet, and I was like, that looks so cool and sounds so cool, because the older years did like a little show for us to like showcase the instruments. Okay. And I actually started with bass clarinet, and I really loved it. I eventually switched to regular like soprano clarinet in high school, because I got really bored about playing the bass part. Yeah. So I was like, I want the melody. And now I can barely play the bass clarinet, so
really?
Yeah.
So but did you enjoy playing the bass clarinet?
Yeah.
Like throughout?
I actually think the bass clarinet is so cool.
Really?
I love it, but I just have not
What's the general woodwind consensus of the bass clarinet? I don't really know
cool. Has such a cool
does
sound.
everyone think it's super cool like that?
Yeah, like a beefy like bass sound.
Right.
I love it. I can't really play it though. I haven't had much experience on it.
Did you have a teacher? No, it was just like you just practiced through what you were given in classes. Yeah,
just band stuff. And then I got a private teacher when I was in grade 11.
Was that so you can go to university?
Yeah.
So picking up the clarinet in high school. I mean, like what was that like? Was it just like a change in instrument when you got in grade 9 and you just kind of stuck with it?
Yeah, so like I said, I was kind of bored with bass clarinet.
Right.
Because I was like, want to be a diva and play some like melodic lines,
right?
Woodwind players, and flute players. But yeah, I the change was I just told my music teacher, I was like, hey, like, can I play clarinet? And he's like, sure. I mean, he was a little sad because we need more bass instruments usually,
right?
But it's a very easy switch to go just to clarinet and bass clarinet. But yeah, I just stuck with clarinet.
And like, how was that kind of like? I think journey is like a super corny word for it, but it's like the only thing I can think of. But like that kind of journey of like, playing in band in high school, but then eventually turning it into an actual love for music, if you know what I mean. Like, I don't, like, it's, especially for people who aren't music majors, they don't really get what that means in a sense, but like, actually like loving music outside of having to play it for a class, like where did you kind of find that point of liking music or even liking clarinet music like that?
Well, I found, because my family is like not musical at all. Like, I don't think like any generation of my family has ever picked up a musical instrument. So for me, it was like, a new thing. And I'm also the oldest out of all my cousins. But I just found like with music, I didn't really, like a lot of other majors, like in high school, if you want to be like a math major, it kind of like the courses that you take in high school,
the foundational setup
kind
for
of
that.
help you, right? Yeah. Whereas I found, at least because I didn't go to an art school or anything, with music, I had to do a lot of extra, like, outside of school stuff.
Did you play in like Taiwo?
No.
You're from
I don't even know what that was.
Oh, okay.
No. Yeah, I know. My ensemble was my concert band, high school band.
Right.
I'm my junior and senior band.
But what other things did you find that, like, did you...
Yeah.
Where'd you take yourself?
So by
sense?
doing just some like stuff outside of school, I had to do private lessons, and I discovered that there's like solo repertoire for clarinet.
That was me too. I did not know there was solo repertoire for like instruments.
So I'm like, oh, like this is so fun. Like I played like Schumann fantasy pieces. It's like a clarinet staple. That was like my first like, actual piece that wasn't just like band music.
Right. And did you learn that for audition or like?
Yeah, I did actually learn that for my I literally was prepping my university auditions for like 2 years, like since grade 11. I was like, grade 11. I decided I want to go to school for music.
Well, and then why was that?
What? Sorry?
Like making that decision.
Making that decision. Honestly, I've always loved music, but then I was kind of like, well, I have to go to university.
Like, did you want to be a teacher, or at least like in that sense, like making your future life about music, essentially?
I started off wanting to be like a high school music teacher.
Right. Were your teachers good?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, it wasn't art school. It wasn't like like the music wasn't like like taken so seriously, but it was enough to get me to start thinking about doing that. Like, it was like it opened the door.
You like doing this essentially. Yeah. That's very funny. Yeah, because that was like for me, like in high school, I was playing concert percussion. I was like, I want to do this forever. Like just ensemble. I didn't even know like solo rap existed before the teacher, and I just want to like. It kind of seems for most like wind brass percussion, starting at an older age than strings, right? Yeah. It's kind of like I want to make my life about music, but the only way for that is to go to university for it, and the kind of viable programs are classical music, and then you just do education, and the dream is to be a music teacher, but you're currently doing your master's performance, and then when you went into your undergrad, were you in performance also? So
laureate's different, where all music majors in the BMUs, they start off with 2 years of comprehensive, which is like general. Common year, 2 years of that, and you don't actually have to decide what stream you want to go into until second year. Right. So I in first year I actually didn't even think that I could get into music. Like my music teacher
not even like education, just like music in general.
No, music in general. Because I started taking lessons in grade 11, and my music teacher was like, "Oh, like
you'll be lucky.
I don't know if you can do this. Like okay, like you can try, but like I don't know if music is your thing." So I was kind of like
really like your thing.
Yeah.
That's weird.
So I was
not
like,
even like
no, it's just like you're too late to the game. I'm like,
oh, like an underprepared sense.
So
not like okay.
Yeah.
Like okay.
So like there was another clarinet player at our school who wanted to go into music, and my teacher was like, you know, like that girl, like she's been taking
band
lessons,
teacher or
band teacher,
yeah.
Okay. She's like that girl. She's been taking lessons for years. Like I don't know, like that's what you need to do. And I was like, okay, well, I better get started. So I knew, and I didn't. So I got to Laurier, and I, you know, for me, like theory and stuff like that was still is very difficult for me. So I was like, I don't know if I'll be able to like pass these courses. Like, you know, it's just going to be so much work. So I think I'm gonna switch into sociology.
Really?
Yeah, and then
this is you in second or like
first year.
First year
university, and then I kind of stuck with it. I worked really hard. I went to all the tutoring sessions for theory, and I passed. And I was practicing so much.
Yeah, I was gonna say how would you say your playing was when you went into?
Not good, but
did you have a drive to practice?
I did. I really did, and I didn't really know what that was. And then I was like, hey, you know what? I'm practicing so much. Maybe I should audition for performance.
Like this is a thing I'm already spending the most time on.
Yeah.
And you're probably like happiest doing.
Yeah.
Right.
So I was working on this really difficult piece for me, and I played it on my jury, and I auditioned at the end of my first year for early performance. Because usually people get in their third year. Right. So I auditioned for early performance, and I got in, and I was like, oh my god. And then since then, like, I've really realized that like performing is what I love to do. Right.
Did you eventually kind of grow that love for like clarinet repertoire and like orchestral music?
I love like symphonic music. Like I could go without listening to clarinet solo music. Right. I love playing it, and I love it.
I feel that about hearing any solo music.
Yeah, right?
Well, especially listening, I feel like the recording quality isn't amazing.
Yeah.
And seeing it live, sometimes the orchestra can be too loud.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I love overall like orchestral pieces too. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
chamber, orchestral, it's just my favorite thing to listen to and to play in. Like, being an orchestral musician would be like a dream for me because and chamber, I mean, for winds, playing in the orchestra is basically chamber anyway. Yeah. So anything like collaborative like that, I love.
Right. Because it all started with band. You know?
Yeah. So maybe that's why.
And so like you didn't really have an interest in music before band. Were you like not even like listening to music like that? Really? No. So you'd say like the introduction of you listening to music is just technically classical music. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, and I was thinking, like, you know how like music schools now, like, and arts programs in general are kind of going downhill. Yeah. And I'm just thinking, like, if I didn't have music, like a music program at my elementary school, I don't think I would be in music because that's how I was introduced, right? Yeah. So that's why it's so important to give kids that opportunity. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you got into early performance, like in that's second year, right?
Second year.
So was it kind of just like the rest of your undergrad was just like keep practicing, work towards like going to a good school for your master's?
Yeah. So I kind of thought that I wanted to do my master's. Yeah, I definitely was working towards going to do my master's. Mm-hmm. And I just, my teacher at Laurier was very good in helping me just get there and helping me giving me all the tools I needed to become a performer. So I'm so grateful for him. He's like a huge part of my life to this day too. And then COVID.
When you But I just wanted to backtrack a bit there.
Yeah.
So when you made that switch to performance, were you already thinking of a greater career goal, or not even? It was that idea of you becoming a music teacher kind of got jaded in the sense of how much you love practicing.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. I'm not sure. If I had, I just wanted to do, like, in my early years of my undergrad, I just, like, wanted to do, like, anything involved with music. Like, I didn't even really know in my first years, like, that this is, like a huge, like, that anything other than being a music teacher is, like, possibility for a career.
Yeah, same here, yeah.
Right? So, but then I realized, I just loved to play. I wasn't in the symphony orchestra until my third year, but it was the first rehearsal of our symphony orchestra, and I was like, this is what I want to do. I knew it. I, like, texted my mom after the first rehearsal, and I was like, okay, I found what I want to do. Now I just have to work towards that.
Right, so, like, winning orchestra job, that kind of thing.
Yeah, like, that would be just... I knew from that day that I want to do this. And it's really hard to do, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's tough. But you kind of got faded out of that wind ensemble music too.
Yeah,
right?
I'm not a big fan of that.
Yeah.
but no, it's taught me a lot to play. Yeah. I've done wind stuff in my first 2 years, and
everything before that. Right?
Yeah.
Did you play in orchestras at all? Like,
no.
The first thing you ever played was in third year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. But so from there, like, your goal was set to be an orchestral clarinetist, be in that section, right? So you eventually did that artist diploma. Oh no, what's it called? The chamber degree.
Yeah, I did
thing.
A chamber diploma at Laurier. Right. So I did my 4 years of Bachelor of Music. I graduated. And then I came back for the program was a year long.
Yeah.
So I came back for that. And that was really because my fourth year was, like, completely online.
It was the COVID year.
Yeah, completely online. So I was just like, I really don't think I would be ready to go and do a master's now. And
ending off like this especially.
Yeah, and it was really hard for me even to just, like, book a recording session with a pianist because they weren't even allowing us to rehearse with our pianist.
Really?
Like, I was like, I'm not going to submit an audition with, a recorded accompaniment. Like, and a lot of my pieces, it just didn't work. That couldn't even be a possibility.
Right.
So it was like, I wanted to pull my hair out just because I was planning on auditioning to U of T actually during my fourth year. But then I was like, you know what? I think I should just come back. I still had to audition for the chamber diploma, but I was like, I should just come back, get some more experience playing with people, doing a chamber diploma,
right.
Which is I was in 2 chamber groups, and we did 2 recitals that year. So I think I needed it because I was not ready to do my. I mean, right. Everyone probably felt like that too, right?
Right.
But. Yeah.
How would you describe, like, the Laurier community, that, like, being there, not really comparing it to here, but just, like, your experience of it?
Yeah.
I asked Cass this, and, like, I feel like hers has that super bias of, like, hanging out with the percussion studio, but...
The percussion studio, and I noticed this at every school, the percussion studio is, like, always so close.
Very close. But how would you describe, like...
Just in general,
Laurier, and if you want to, like, kind of fit in a bit of, like, that woodwind, like, love there.
Definitely, like, Laurier is, like, a very small community, so you would walk, down the hall at Laurier, Faculty of Music, and, like, you could just sit down and, like, there'll be a group of people sitting in the hallway, a group of people, like, in the lounge. Like, there was always people. Everyone knew each other. It was a small school, too. Woodwinds, too. Like, each, like, studio kind of, like, did their own, like, little things. Like, because they were small. Like, the clarinet studio is about, like, 12 clarinets.
How big is it here?
It's like 30 or something.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Man.
So small studios. So we all kind of work very close.
Right.
Yeah.
So going from there and, like, they coming here for your master's, was this, like, your top option? You're saying?
Actually, yes, it was. I applied to 4 schools, and I really wanted to come to U of T.
Which schools did you apply to?
McGill.
If you don't mind me asking.
Yeah. McGill, Ottawa, and GGS.
Right.
Yeah.
But was it like the teacher here mostly that kind of got you?
Yeah, I know. I just knew that the teachers here were pretty good. So I'm with Joaquin, and I didn't even know he was an option. Yeah, and he's so cool. Like he's been principal clarinet of the TSO he just retired, but for so long. And yeah, to be able to study with him, especially, was like so cool.
Right.
Yeah.
And like how have you enjoyed it here so far overall? Like I asked this in the beginning, but a bit more anything more you have to say about your time here, especially just the year it's been for you.
Yeah, I really do enjoy it. I mean, I'm getting to know more people, which is great.
Right.
And
I feel like you're never done meeting new people
I know.
here. It's pretty crazy.
Right? There's so and then more people coming in, right? Next year probably. Yeah, no, I like it. I love my teachers. Working with Uri and orchestra is terrifying but so fun.
Right.
And my chamber group is great to work with. We're getting through a lot of stuff. I made really great friends here. I like it. I definitely, and I like living in Toronto.
Do you plan on staying in Toronto after next year? Because next year you graduate.
Yeah, next year I graduate, hopefully. I'm actually not too sure what my plan is.
I mean, you're already from the GTA. Actually.
I definitely don't want to go back to Vaughan.
It's not that far though. So
I know. Yeah. I think I might if I'm not getting jobs and stuff by the time I graduate. I think I might try to audition for the artist diploma at GGS.
Okay.
Because I know it's you're funded, and my teacher Joaquin teaches there too. Yeah. So if I would love to
same deal, right?
Yeah, have more time with him. So that is an option if I'm good enough at that point. But yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But how do you feel about solo rap?
Solo rap?
Would you ever think about playing solo professionally, or is it more just orchestral, do excerpts, take auditions? What would you say?
I mean, the thing about solo rap, at least for wins, is that it's just not. A few people have that as their career. You have to be really good,
right?
But
it's a completely different drive.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, like I said, I would rather play in an orchestra or chamber groups than do solo. But I mean, I would love to put on recitals here and there and that kind of stuff. But no, I mean, solo rap is great, but I don't think it'd be possible to sustain a career just doing that.
Right.
Because who wants to listen to solo clarinet
forever
all the time, right? Yeah. People want to hear us in the orchestra. I mean, I do too.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you have you done concerto competitions before?
Yes, I did at Laurier.
Yeah. Did you do the one here?
No, I'm not memorizing. Complete.
Oh, is it not required there at Laurier?
No, I did it at Laurier. I played the Mozart concerto with the orchestra.
Oh, you won.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
shoot.
It was delayed for a bit because of COVID.
You're able to do it.
But then I did it last year.
What year did you audition with compete in it?
2019. I was in 3rd year.
Oh shit.
And then I was supposed to perform it in my 4th year, but COVID.
Right.
So, yeah.
Oh, but that's sick. That's very cool.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Interesting?
Yeah, the orchestra was struggling a little.
I see.
Yeah, they can't play Mozart, but
I'm gonna start wrapping this up. This has been great, but I want to ask you, what would you say are some of your musical goals for now until the end of the year?
To the end of the year,
Yeah.
Okay. Make sure that I'm ready for my recital. Improve work on improving kind of the things that I've been working on in my lessons. meet more people, do more social things around here. That's like a non-music related thing, but what else? Just make it to the end.
Yeah. Well, I wish you the best for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
This has been Anne Murdocca on the EJB Talk Show. It's been delightful having you on, Anne.
Thanks for having me.
And yeah, her Instagram is linked down below. Give her a
slay.
follow. She's awesome. If you see her here, say what's up.
Yeah.
And yeah, she's the nicest ever. And yeah, that'll be it of another great episode of the Talk Show. Thanks for watching, guys.
Yeah, thanks.